What does it mean to say that you are an imam? Are you a real imam?
The word imam means the person in front. And I was ordained as a cleric in 2010 in the holy city of Qom, Iran, and then sent by my superiors to Australia to preach and represent the Muslim community.
Now, you admit that in your earlier past you used to be a radical Muslim. Do you call it a fundamentalist Muslim? Where did you learn these radical ideas?
And growing up in a religious household, amongst religious friends, religious communities, it was always known for us that our path is right, everybody else is wrong, and we need to be against them, not just leave them alone. We have to fight them because that's what would make God happy. Any Islamist will tell you that America is the enemy of Islam. They're chanting death to America every single day. I did it for 7 years, every single day. Death to America, death to Israel.
Now, you have said that it is commonplace for one to find this kind of radical literature in pretty much any mosque.
If you walk into any mosque, especially in America, you will find right beside the Quran the second most sacred book, Al-Bukhari. In that book, there's a clear chapter of jihad, how to kill and the laws of killing. Yeah. Members of Congress visit these mosques and take pictures inside them, and the books on the shelves, they're not a joke, they're manuals of war.
You described your experience of being in an airport. You walk into the
prayer room.
Muslim prayer room.
Yes.
And what did you see?
I went up to the bookshelf and I found a book written by one of the main leaders of the Muslim Brotherhood. And I opened it, and lo and behold, there's a whole chapter of jihad and how to take people hostage, how to take non-Muslims hostages who are literally outside traveling. It's just a tragedy.
What is the fundamentalist and jihadi agenda for America?
The future of America has to be Muslim.
So here's a paradox. In America, we have a political left. It's a progressive left. As you know, it's sexually permissive, not just homosexuality, bisexuality, transsexuality. And this political movement appears strangely allied with radical Islam. Can you explain this strange bedfellows phenomenon?
When I was an extremist, Islamist, fundamentalist, I would only vote left.
Why is that?
I saw them as very stupid. I would fear the conservatives. I would fear them because they come with principle. That's not someone they can brainwash. But the left, I know they have no values and no principles to begin with. And they will fall in the track that I set for them. I dare you to find one Islamic extremist that votes for Donald Trump. Never do it. They'd give their vote to the leftist who wants to run around in pride parades. And Islamic extremists are against gays and homosexuals and transgenders, but they want the left to go and get busy with that. They want them, go speak about the climate, go speak about abortion, go kill yourselves, go do that. Ilhan Omar, she's fighting for abortion rights and all the other, my body, my choice, yes, go do that. But would she have an abortion? Never. Never. Would she kill a Muslim in her stomach? Never.
Let's zoom into Ilhan Omar. What's your take on her?
Fundamentalist, extremist, Islamist, jihadi ideology, a threat to national security, ISIS with lipstick.
Why is Ilhan Omar a big deal, not just in America, but all over the world?
A congresswoman who is black and is a female and has hijab. So this on its own is an achievement, and she's seen as a role model to begin with. Because in the Middle East, this doesn't happen. For me to see a lady come from the desert, go head to head with the President of the United States, I immediately tell myself, how lucky this lady is if she did that back home. Good luck, not only to her, to her whole family.
I'm also assuming that in Somalia, if she were to take on the president of Somalia,
she'd be hanged upside down. I think she is grateful she's in America, but she's a fundamentalist, which means she needs to justify being here.
So you're saying she's a believer among the infidels?
Yes, and she justifies her presence by spreading the Islamist ideology.
And would it be fair to say that what Ilhan Omar wants is for all of America to look like her community?
Without a doubt. Firstly, the Muslims in Ilhan Omar's district are more radical than radicals in the Middle East.
In multiple reports that the constituency that she represents is the largest terrorist recruiting ground
Yes.
in the United States. And when some of these guys have been arrested, Ilhan has written letters to the judge basically saying spare them.
Be lenient with them, she asks from the judge, and she says allow them back into the community so that we may thrive. In August 2019, Ilhan called for the protection of Hormuz Telecom, which is the main financier of Al-Shabaab. She publicly tweeted that they need to be protected.
I've seen that tweet. Now, why would she do that?
She thinks that she's untouchable. She can do whatever she likes. She deleted a tweet in broad daylight in front of everyone where she calls her dad Noor Saeed, which would prove that she married her own brother, whose surname is Noor Saeed, which means her name is not Ilhan Omar, it's Ilhan Noor Saeed. She deleted it, and she believes there will be no investigation whatsoever.
And there hasn't been.
No, and there will never be.
The people from different countries that are not friendly to us and countries that are out of control themselves. Countries like Somalia that have virtually no government, no military, no police. All they do is go around killing each other. Then they come into our country and tell us how to run our country. We don't want them.
What are you talking about?
You got to talk up.
She said how many countries? Is there a list?
Well, I guess we gave you 19, right? And it's probably more than that.
Is that what you mean when you mean third world countries, those 19?
No, I don't think they're all third world, but in many cases they are third world. They're not good countries. They're very crime-ridden countries. They're countries that don't do a good job. They're countries that don't register from the standpoint of success. And we, frankly, don't need their people coming into our country telling us what to do.
When you talk about
I'm talking about like Somalia, where you have a congressman goes around telling everybody about our Constitution, and yet she supposedly came into our country by marrying her brother. Well, if that's true, she shouldn't be a congressman, and we should throw her the hell out.
What's the relationship between radical Islam and socialism in America?
Votes and common interest.
The Muslims are delivering the votes
Yes.
through their leaders.
Yes.
And what do the socialists and the progressive left give in exchange?
They give them a platform. They give them the media. They protect them.
If we have Islamic domination, which is the goal, as you suggest, will Americans become strangers in their own country?
Americans who have values, who believe in freedom of speech, freedom of belief, freedom of religion, Americans who want to raise their families as Christians, they will feel as strangers.
City is rock solid and will be unwavering. Our police, many of whom are Somali themselves, are trusted partners in keeping people safe. They will not collaborate with any federal agency around doing immigration enforcement work. Our city staff and our law enforcement will not ask the question as to whether an individual is documented or not. And by the way, there are more than 80,000 Somali people living in Minnesota. Almost all of them are both documented and citizens. And the city has worked with community partners who have compiled Know Your Rights information. And so here's what we know. You have the right to remain silent, and you have the right to a lawyer. You can refuse to sign documents until that lawyer is present. You have the right to not open the door unless a warrant has been shown. The city of Minneapolis provides free immigration legal resources. And if you or a family member or a loved one needs access to a lawyer, go to our website or call 311.
Folks that are masked, that they're not sure if they're law enforcement, that they may be kidnapping people. Like, we have had those reports. I want to be clear to the community. The community should know that if you see something like that, that is legitimate, that you don't know if someone is law enforcement, you should call 911. And you should provide as much information as possible, because let's not forget, We very recently had tragedy in this state by someone who was purporting to be law enforcement. So
investigators are tracking the web of fraud to other Minnesota Democrats, such as Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Many of the suspects linked to the scheme live in her district, including a restaurant owner who hosted events for her. He has since been convicted of stealing $12 million in COVID funds.
You told me to look into Minnesota and their fraud on visas and their programs. 50% of them are fraudulent, which means that wacko Governor Walz either is an idiot or he did it on purpose. And I think he's both, sir. He brought people in there illegally that never should have been in this country, said they were somebody that they're not. They said they were married to somebody who was their brother or somebody else. Fraudulent visa applications, signed up for government programs, took hundreds of billions of dollars from the taxpayers, and we're going to remove them and we're going to get our money back. And we're going to, this next year, make sure that we only put people in leadership positions in this country that love this country and have its back. So thank you for letting us get up every day and have a purpose. We appreciate you.
Thanks, Chris.
I have no worry. I don't know how they take away my citizenship and like deport me, but I don't even know like why that's such a scary threat. Like I'm not the 8-year-old who escaped war anymore. I'm grown. My kids are grown. Like I can go live wherever I want. I mean, I have no worry.